Hello, I am Kelly Doyle with allthingsmonona.com, and I am sitting here with Jim Reiter, who is the Community Resource Officer with the Monona Police Department.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So, in efforts for people to get to know you a little better, and the police department maybe
Sure.
as a whole, why don't we jump into you? So why did you choose to become a police officer?
My entire family has been in public safety since I was born, and police, fire, EMS, nurses, doctors, everything.
Oh, wow.
So I think police just kind of attracted me just based on the unique situation of law enforcement, you know, being out in the community, being able to interact with people, having different situations happen while you're at work. Nothing's ever the same.
What is something most people probably don't know about your profession? Since we are not police officers.
Sure, right. I would have to say that the TV stories are never like CSI, and it's not the same. They have 45 minutes to get things done. You know, we can't get things done in 45 minutes just based on, you know, the workload and the time frame it takes to collect and process scenes and stuff like that. I mean, we could be at a burglary for just 45 minutes. And then we have our awesome crime lab with the state of Wisconsin that, you know, they're backlogged and they have to take things priority, you know, so cases may come in that supersede that burglary or something like that they have to work on. So then that burglary gets pushed aside, you know, for evidence that they might need to collect and stuff like that, or diagnose. Yeah, it could take a few months before we actually solve 100% of crime.
So what are your primary responsibilities in the department?
So my primary responsibility in Monona is doing community relations, doing such as like this. I guess kind of being the face of our police department, doing different community presentations at our senior center and our assisted livings that we have here, our independent livings that we have here in Monona. We do have a national night out that happens every August.
Okay.
I'm the organizer of that with our Parks and Recs department.
Nice.
So it's just kind of doing those community events, those presentations, and then a whole lot of other little job duties that I have behind the scenes to keep our police department rolling and up to date with our community. So.
Because you're still active, too.
Yes, I'm also a police officer, so I do out patrol. And the week before that, I was helping out at a dispatch center. So I kind of get put wherever's needed, plus doing the community stuff as well. So
lots of options for you every day.
Yes.
So you've been here about 10 years, is that right?
Yep, I've actually have been here over 10 years now. So yes, I love Monona. Before here, I was a Dane County deputy. And then before being a deputy, I was in our dispatch center. So that's what really attracted me to Monona, was the whole dispatching, getting to know the ins and outs of the department and how Monona operates.
What was it like when you first started over 10 years ago?
From 10 years ago till now is going to be the technology. Everything's really computer based and wireless based and stuff like that, versus when I first started here you had to handwrite citations. Now it's all done by computer.
Oh, sure.
And a whole lot of other things that we have, you know, the GPS systems that we have in our vehicles that we can see where everybody's at and communicate with each other via those. And so it's really neat.
That probably keeps everybody safer.
It really does, yeah. So that way we can see where everybody's at. We know what everybody else is doing. And if we do need additional resources in Monona, different law enforcement agencies to come in, they can see what we see as well.
What has surprised you most while working in your role?
I would say the times have changed with law enforcement. I think that's kind of surprising.
Okay.
Yet not surprising. If you look at the philosophy of police many years ago, it was, you know, the police are the community are the police.
Yeah.
And so we have to evolve how the community wants to evolve. But yet we still have to maintain
Order.
You know, order. Yeah, that's our responsibility. Whether people agree or disagree with that, that's our responsibility. I think that has changed in the last few years with different things. The good thing with Wisconsin is that Wisconsin's a leader in law enforcement. A lot of states around Wisconsin actually take our training models and use them.
Oh.
So we're actually kind of a leader in law enforcement, which is really good, because it's also sad that things happen in other states that people disagree with, and we disagree with things too that happen in other states, you know. But we're, I think, thankful here in Wisconsin that we have statutes and state statutes and requirements that we have to do in law enforcement that some of these other states don't.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't think people understand that. So we're actually held to a very high standard throughout the country in law enforcement. So people look at Wisconsin and law enforcement as a model on what to do.
What is your greatest achievement? You've been in police department for over 10 years.
I would say where I'm at right now. The community resource officer position is a great opportunity to just be able to do a whole lot different things. I help out our dispatch center. I help out patrol. I get to talk to you.
Yeah.
So, whereas they may not have that opportunity to do it because they're taking calls, they're making those traffic stops, they're out being more visible than maybe I might be.
What are some of your greatest challenges?
I would say with the changing of times with some people's perception of law enforcement, whereas we're not always out to get everybody. Some people think that we're out to get them, or we're singling out them for whatever reason. The majority of the time that we have contact with people is because we get called. Somebody somewhere somehow contacts the police department and says this doesn't look right, so we have to respond. We have a duty to at least investigate. And I think that's where some people get maybe frustrated or a little irritated that somebody may have called them in.
Sure.
But we don't know what that person that's calling in actually sees until we get there and may have a perspective. So I think that's kind of a challenge of we have a duty to act. We just have to at least go and look.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
So.
Can you think of any differences working in Monona versus for the Dane County, for example?
There is a difference. Monona is a city versus the sheriff's office is a county-wide thing. So we have a local base. We know Monona. My primary duty when I was a deputy was working in the jail. So that's a huge difference versus working on the road versus in the jail, and you're always seeing the same inmates on a day-to-day basis. Monona is very unique. We have a lot of opportunities to do different things here. And it seems the majority of the people that we come in contact with are not Monona residents at all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that is very interesting. Because of the high business ratio that we have. We have like over 500 businesses in Monona. And then we have some major thoroughfares, the Beltline, Stoughton Road, Broadway, Monona Drive, where it attracts
Interesting.
a lot of outside Monona residents. The people that we normally see, we'll see maybe once or twice, and that would be about it.
Well, I guess that's good news.
Right. So we're not constantly dealing with the Monona population, but
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Monona residents are paying for services that maybe they may not utilize,
Due to the location or
but due to the location.
Sure. So on the flip side of that, is there something you can think of that you enjoy most about your profession?
Yeah, there is a lot. For me in particular, being the resource officer, being able to do this, being able to go to the East Side Business Coalition events, and stuff like that, and being able to actually have conversations with people that are normally positive. In law enforcement, we do have negative contacts, unfortunately, but it happens. It's part of the profession. And I think mine are more positive, so that's a really neat opportunity to have in law enforcement where the majority of your contacts are positive. Just the other day I was parked at Schluter Beach and got out. All these kids were talking to me and having a good time, and so that was very neat.
In your getup, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad they're not afraid of you.
No, they're not. Usually they're not.
Well, Jim, thank you so much. This was really informative. I
Yeah.
hope you guys learned a lot. It's nice to get an inside look at the police department and kind of some struggles and positives about your job.
That's
so
right.
it was very good meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Kelly Doyle with allthingsmonona.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.